Had you figured for a little while now that that's where you were looking at putting him with Blake and Stajan?
I hadn't really given it much thought, but in looking at our centers, I think Stage right now is the best guy to play with them. Stage is more of a disher. The other guys, David.
Doctor, he failed his test.
Yeah. There's probably a doctor alerting him he's got swine flu and he's here breathing on us. John Mitchell likes to carry the puck. Grabel likes to carry the puck, and we've got to have somebody who's going to feed Phil. And again, he hasn't practiced on the line except for today with any of those guys. We've been filtering him into power play situations so that we're a little more ready for that. But this will be a big experiment, and I know since he is a pure goal scorer, all of our centers are going to want a shot to play with him to prove that they can set him up somehow. So we'll go game to game, shift to shift to see how it's going.
Would it be fair to assume, given who he's playing with, that you're not really going to limit his ice time to like 7 or 8 minutes?
Well, we'll see. He's worked hard since we picked him up. He's been on the ice the whole time, skating hard. It's obviously different when there's physical contact. To the extent you get in practice and then into a game, it's much different. And I'll just give him ice time that when I see him bent over and huffing and puffing, we'll give him a rest. But if he feels capable of playing a lot of minutes, he will. But I just play it by ear.
How tough is it for a guy to miss training camp and not get into his first game till November to get up to speed?
I think it's pretty difficult. I think back 1 year, Paul Correa missed the first 12 or 13 games with hip and groin injuries, and he came out of the gate flying. And this will all be whatever's in Phil's head, because sometimes having that type of surgery, you're a little tentative and going into certain situations. And if he's not, I can't see any reason why he wouldn't be relatively successful, but to get the timing down, and remember he's playing on a new team with completely different teammates, a different style of play probably, and he was used to with the Bruins. I think I'm more concerned about that than his overcoming an injury, more the getting used to it. Like if he had the surgery still in Boston, he's going to step on the ice and play with guys he's familiar with. It's a little easier than what he's going to be doing here.
This is probably 12 days earlier than you guys had anticipated him playing.
No, I've had this date for 2 months, November 3rd.
No concern with just him coming back a little bit earlier?
No, I was told 2 months ago, November 3rd. You might have been told something different, but I'm the head coach, so I think the date they gave me, November 3rd, is the one that I've been going off of for 2 months.
I know it's inevitable. He's going to sustain a hit at some point if he plays Tuesday night. Is there a part of you that's kind of like, want to get it out of the way, maybe just to see him take that hit and then maybe...
No, that's the same, like we want to give up 3 breakaways to a goalie who hasn't been in there for a while. I hope he doesn't get hit, but inevitably he will. He's a slippery player. He's one of those guys who's very difficult to hit anyway, and I just hope that his, that little radar players like Phil has is working full and he's able to slip any kind of checks. I don't think Tampa's got his picture on the board that we've got to knock this guy out. Hitting's part of the game. We've seen a rash of major league hits with guys who've been unaware, had their head down, and the hits that I'm seeing in the NHL aren't anything shoulder on shoulder. It's those hits to the head. They would have to find a way of eliminating from the game, but Phil's a pretty alert player, and I don't worry about any of that.
You talked before the season about potentially naming a captain in around now.
No, I haven't decided on that, no.
Thomas Kaberle named the #1 star of the week. Just talk about, he's just been on quite a tear lately.
Yeah, he's played great, and he's worked hard in the summer to get himself in unbelievable shape, and you're seeing the results now. He's controlling the game when he's on the ice. I'm actually happier, and I told him that today, that he's competing as hard as he is in the defensive zone. We get the puck quicker, and he's a lot more involved in the game, and we can put him in every situation, whereas last year I didn't think his conditioning was good, and he saved himself for offensive situations, and now he's playing much better in our own end. That's why we get the puck a little bit more. That's why he's more effective
How
offensively.
about the chemistry power play run with Stempniak? Those two seem to be moving the puck very well.
Yeah, no, Stempy's done a great job. We used him a little bit last year, but he wasn't very confident. This year, his confidence has blossomed, and he feels comfortable on the point. He's not bobbling pucks, and having a player who can shoot like Stempy and the patience and poise that Cobb has shown on the power play is the reason why it's been so good.
He said in the offseason that he sought out the help of a sports psychologist and that you lent him a couple golf books. So he said he didn't read the books, but he was appreciated that you gave them to him.
Yeah, well, I want the books back then, because I...
Can you just talk about the mental aspect of his game then, or what?
Yeah, well, I he's like a lot of guys. I don't have any confidence. Why? And I think the sports psychologist gave him a quick boot in the butt and told him that, those are just lame excuses. You control your own environment on the ice, and was the gist of the golf books that I gave him about controlling your mind and keeping yourself on the next target. Essentially, you can't be thinking about the mistake you just made. You've got to bury it.